We say in Kisii, and you can be able to see, we have beautiful faces, we have entrepreneurial people, we have the land that is producing, we have everything that you talk of is available in Kisii. Now, agriculture-wise, 98% of the land in Kisii is arable, meaning if you have land here in Kisii, when you plant, 98% you're assured of harvesting. We have tea. We have about 9 factories which are processing our tea. That means we are competing with the other producers of tea internationally, and locally we are actually among the best tea that is auctioned in the international tea auction. Today is not my day to speak so much, but I want to say that in Kisii we have what it takes to attract the investors. And before we bring the investors, we have got to tell you that indeed any investor who is intending to invest in Kisii, you have the facilities, we have the infrastructure that are necessary to make the investment be able to prosper. Number one, we have the local banks. Over 25 branches and international banks exist in Kisii. No wonder central bank statistics indicate we control about 60% of the money market in Nyanza region. Isn't that a reason to invest in Kisii? Prime Minister, sir, I want to also indicate that we have all the major supermarkets that are in Kenya which have become international. Talk of Nakumatt, talk of Taskis, Naivas, Uchumi. Where else? Because we serve from Kisii, we serve the county of Homa Bay, and His Excellency the Governor knows that they shop. I always find him at Nakumatt. So he's happy. If you want to access Masai Mara, you pass through Kisii, because there's roads that are in Kisii here. Of course, they're wonderful roads. And of course, political stability. It is only in Kisii here you'll always find the governor and the deputy working hand in hand, always smiling, happy. That is political. Our senator is always with us because he understands that when we have political stability, we spur economic development. I want to say this, that there are 4 thematic areas that we seek to achieve in this Entrepreneurship Summit. Number 1, infrastructure. And as we end, we shall unveil one of the biggest investor who has come to invest in our county on infrastructure. We're talking about housing. And you know, with population, we expect that housing is a challenge. We have now investors who have the ability to do the houses which are cheaper, that can be able to be afforded by most of our people. Number 2, agro-processing. Agro-processing is the mainstay of our economy. And what we are saying, we have the raw materials, we have industrious people, we have space. Therefore, what we are looking for in agro-processing is value addition for our coffee, our paretha, our bananas, our avocados, our milk, name them. Number 3, we are looking at health. A healthy nation is a prosperous nation. And because our governor is cognizant of why people need to be healthy in this investment, that is why we put it as a priority, so that all those who are coming, they have a chance in diagnostic, they have a chance in preventing, and of course in teaching. And that's why our county assembly, through the enactment of the law, it was easier for us to partner with Kisii University so that we make our Kisii Referral Hospital a teaching and referral hospital. Then the last one is on trade and investment. Of course, we need more in terms of trade, hospitality. We need people to invest in hotels. We need people to invest in shopping malls, because people are willing to buy. Finally, Kisii is the place.
The ceremony, PS Ismail Noor, allow me now just to show you that not only are we
in front of you is Daisy Gerubo, ready to present you a poem entitled Kisii University. Oh yes, Kisii University. So you can sit back, you relax, and enjoy. Welcome. Kisii University, my alumni, the only moon that shines, the dark education journey, it lights the path that leads to victory. Kisii University is my sunshine. When colonialists left Africa, they thought they had left us poor, knowing that they had exploited all our mines, raw materials, leaving our people as slaves. Little did they know that there was a daughter born of Africa. Everywhere in the world, people are looking for the gold, the place where it was mined from. Who to direct them to that great Kisii University, which has now expanded and ventured to great heights. But I believe the belief of our mother, Kisii University. It's a place of our empty minds. It's a rolling success in every fulfilling life. For all that has happened with Professor John Akama, together we stand, forever we shine. Play.
Ladies and gentlemen, wapi makofi once more. Prime Minister. Daisy upitie hapa, tafadhali upitie hapa. Anyone else who's feeling generous? Daisy, just hold on, Daisy, just hold on. Nice. Senator, akikuwa kwa. Daisy, before you go, just go and say hi to the speaker. Daisy, speak loudly to the DG. Daisy, Daisy, thank you very much, baby. Okay? Mpigeni makofi tafadhali. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention now, it seems we are beginning to...
And also members of the various subcommittees that work tirelessly and give their unwavering contributions and support to this end. On the same note, I sincerely want to thank all the sponsors, exhibitors, and delegates for their support and their continuous willingness to stay here for the 3 days starting from today. The objective of this summit is already outlined and in tandem with our county investment policy, and this summit is still tapping the trade and investment opportunities in Kisii County is indeed quite telling, as there are abundant investment opportunities in all sectors in our county, be it in agribusiness, housing, infrastructure, trade and industry, or even and make our economy more competitive and attractive. And this is why we are here today. The chief guest, with a lot of humility and right humbly,
to welcome you to this Kisii Entrepreneurship Summit 2016. As a county assembly, we do not have enforcement capacity, but we possess legislative authority to make laws. With that, we have sectoral and select committees. The sectoral committees have a corresponding sector or a ministry in the executive wing of this government, where through coordination and oversight, we assist in the policy framework for these sectors. Should be noted that some select committees like that of implementation have got enforcing powers to a certain degree. As an assembly, we have been approving policies or laws to assist realized development. Every year, the County Assembly enacts finance bills which give a fiscal framework on which investment is anchored, as it is also provides taxation policies among them. We endeavor to enact sound legislation in order to allow a good environment for investment within our county. Since our inception, we have so far passed close to 50 pieces of legislation. Some of them that will go a long way in enhancing investment and development within the county. As a result, we create a smooth landing for investors in the county. The Kisii County Trade and Marketing Act 2015 is one of the examples of the endeavors of my county assembly to ensuring that those who want to do business in this county have legal basis to anchor their investment. We also have assisted foster investment forums. As a speaker, besides the challenges that the new assembly realized in the first days, I have led and assisted the assembly to ensure that people's concerns and petitions see the light of the day, and the executive wing reacts positively to the people's needs. We have had a few challenges with our neighboring counties, especially on boundary issues relating to revenue collections and security. However, we formed a boundaries committee to solve amicably such challenges. I also call upon all and sundry to come and invest in this county as we coexist and help others grow to our full potential. Thank you and welcome to the summit.
Asante Speaker. Let me now invite a representative of the Vice Chancellor. He's
got an opportunity to provide accommodation. Please, there is a lot of big business there to provide accommodation for the students whom we cannot, as a university. So please consider those who are here as investment. You cannot go wrong. Otherwise, let me also appeal to everybody who is here. Please, in your time, as you tour the facilities around, don't forget us to walk around about and see what there is Kisii University to offer. Otherwise,
Kisii County is a place that you can welcome, and as we were told that Kisii County is focusing on 4 thematic areas, and if these thematic areas are going to be realized, I know it's going to address the issue of unemployment, which is a major challenge in this county and of course the whole country. I want to welcome you since I'm part of the Kisii County government. I want to welcome all of you and let this day be a great day. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Chief Guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and official representative of the national government, Mr. Ismail Nuo, and indeed all our guests to the first Investment and Entrepreneurship Summit organized under the auspices of our government, led by His Excellency Governor James Ongwae. In the 2009 population and house census, the population density in this county was registered at 991 persons per square kilometer. Considering that the national average is 66 persons per square meter, per square kilometer, the population density in this county is by far one of the highest to be found anywhere in the Republic. Our principal resource in this county is land, which we have all along relied on to support the livelihood of our people. However, faced with a high density and an increasing population, Kisii County is now characterized by rapid diminishing land parcels. Diminishing land parcels is a serious threat to the livelihoods of people and the generations to come. Right Honorable Prime Minister, while this threat is real and poses a challenge to all of us, it compels us as a community of the Abagusi to seek alternative and perhaps different ways to sustain our livelihoods. Because we must survive. Perishing or allowing ourselves to languish in extreme poverty is not an option. At this summit, our guests, wherever they come from, whether they are international, regional, or local, entrepreneurs and investors, will be able to see that this county has something to offer, as has already been alluded to. I am personally optimistic that this summit will bear fruit through creation of concrete networks and exploiting the immense potential in areas such as trade, agriculture, healthcare, information technology, hospitality, and infrastructure development, among many other potential attractions. Honorable Prime Minister and our chief guest, Mr. Noor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Before I conclude my remarks, I want to say something that we at the Senate are doing everything to ensure that we protect the county governments and their interests. Despite the huge challenges from those who oppose devolution, we are still ensuring that we will forge ahead because devolution is important, and we believe that devolution will make a change to the lives of our people. Your Excellency the Governor, I want to assure you that we will ensure constant flow of funds so that we can guarantee that the programs and activities we have put in place here will continue to be implemented. And finally, I wish everybody present here an enjoyable period, and I wish you all fruitful participation, fruitful engagement at the proceedings of this summit. Thank you very much.
The Honorable, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga, who is also the party leader for ODM and the CORD coalition leader. The Senator, Your Excellency, the Governor was invited me. Bwana Ismail Noor, representing the Minister, the Speaker of the Assembly of Kisii, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Mine will be very short. First and foremost, I have come here. Governor Ogwai last week had a similar function in Homa Bay, and he graced the occasion. And I felt it's important as neighbors that share a lot of issues. It is important to come and join him and support him. Secondly, because my party leader was coming here and the king of the evolution in this country, I felt I am privileged to accompany him so that I can also get the blessing of the Kisiis, and the Kisiis bless him to be the next president of this country. Come, ladies and gentlemen, I think I want to thank and congratulate my friend, Your Excellency James Ogwai,
James is also a chairman at the Council of Governors of Resource Committee because of his serious and vast background he had in the civil service. I want to thank you so much and congratulate you. A chapter is being opened in Kisii today. A chapter of the evolution. A chapter of the evolution succeeding. Indeed, in the last 3 years, we have been institutionalizing the evolution. And as the Senator did mention, indeed, there are challenges that we're going through. But I can assure you, what I saw here being presented is a clear indication that the evolution is working. That the evolution is touching the lives of Kenyans. As Raila Amolo Odinga was inspired to be the king of the evolution, to ensure the evolution was brought in this country. And I thank Your Excellency, the Governor, for inviting the King of the Evolution to open this function. We feel happy, we feel encouraged when we see people who suffered. We see people who put their blood for Kenyans so that a system of management or governance can be able to reach the Mogakas, the Bases, the Atienos, and the Wajikos. I think this is encouraging. I have seen the thematic areas which are very similar to Homa Bay. You know, Homa Bay was once in this Kisii town. We came from here, and that's why some of us are so close to Homa Bay, because the first clerk of Homa Bay here was Paul Boyer, and he's the one who went and established Homa Bay. So we have a lot of issues that we share together with Kisii. So I want to conclude by saying this is wonderful. This is a clear indication and manifestation that you have a leader in the name of James Ongwae, who has a vision. My only plea to you people, the Kisii, that James has been able to understand and to go through the evolution. The evolution was an animal brought by Raila Amolo Odinga. We didn't know it. So we have given the privilege to look at it. I'm sure the way things are happening here, now James understands the evolution. And I think it's just starting to work. Give him another chance so that he can be able to complete. With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm privileged to be here. Asante sana.
Asante sana, County of Ongwae, who will speak and in turn invite our chief guest, the KES2016.
Thank you very much. Who are coming here, the investors who are coming here, today, those who are going to be here tomorrow. The Secretary General of UNCTAD is going to be here, Dr. Mukisa Kitui, and about 10 governors led by the chairman of the Council of Governors and many other investors. And of course on Saturday, His Excellency the President will also be here. Let's thank all of them. But join me, all of you, in at least since you have been sitting for a long time, in standing up and thanking our Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, our former Prime Minister, and clap for him for coming here so that you can also relax a little bit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You all do know that the theme of the summit is tapping trade and investment opportunities in Kisii County. And in this, we are all saying, ladies and gentlemen, that moving forward, we must empower our people and we must also create employment. Over the next 3 days, we shall have an opportunity to interact with high-profile guests, among them entrepreneurs, industrialists, leaders in the corporate world, members in education, policy makers, and even motivational speakers. Please ensure that you come in these large numbers that you have come here today to welcome them, and also to actually show them how vibrant we are as Kisii. Conferences have been held, but we said that we'll configure our investment ideas along the heels of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, the KES2016, which was presided over by the US President Obama in Nairobi, and we chose to adopt this model in Kisii County. And that's why we even have an entrepreneurship pitching contest where the winner is actually going to be given 1 million shillings. This, ladies and gentlemen, is because we realize that entrepreneurship is the way to go if we have to build a robust and sustainable economy. Indeed, global tigers like India and China and others, even Japan, all these were actually built through cottage industries. What are we saying here, ladies and gentlemen? We are saying here that an investor is not one that is coming with billions of shillings. An investor is your brother and sister who is able to employ 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. An amalgamation of those investors is what will make Kisii County. Basically, what a coin will count. During the GES summit, and allow me to paraphrase the US President what he said, he did say that entrepreneurship creates new jobs and new businesses, new ways to deliver basic services, new ways of seeing the world. It is a spark of prosperity. And it is for this reason, therefore, that you are sitting here today, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great nation called Kenya. We have our 47 counties. Kenya is one indivisible nation. But if the 47 counties are able to do their part, then we will develop our country. And that is why we are here today. I want also to thank our partner, KCB, sincerely for supporting us. I want to thank CPF, the County Pension Fund, who have also supported us, Cooperative Bank, Liquid Telecom, Airtel, and all the others who have supported us moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, my good senator gave you the statistics of Kisii County. I don't wish to repeat them, but I do want to tell you that if you look at the national average, 66 people per square kilometer, you come to Kisii, over 950 people per square kilometer. What are you seeing there? Apart, of course, from the high population, you are seeing, in the context of investments, you are seeing a market. The Chinas of this world and their growing economies are because of that market and that population. And that's what you are seeing here in Kisii. You are also given statistics by one of my officers who came here. And before I conclude, you will allow me to ask my Minister for Trade to also come here so that you see him. Because in the context of time, we probably ignored him. Mr. Osoro. Osoro, you want to say one word?
Thank you, Your Excellency. The Right Honorable Omoro Odinga, the members who are here, habari zenu? Habari zenu? I want to tell you that I don't want to say much, and much has been said, and My Excellency, the Governor is here, is saying what we have come here for. But I want to thank the ministers who are present here, that you are the one who have made this a success, and thank you for your good work. What you all see here, I'm the Minister of Trade and Industry. This is a combination of the ministers and the Trade Ministry. And I want to tell you that we are up to the task. Welcome all the visitors, those whom I have interacted during my travel abroad to bring you into board. Please welcome and let us just partner to see how we are going to take Kisii to the next level. Otherwise, asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You all do realize that if I had left him out, my minister would have killed me. So, Minister, thank you for the good work. So, ladies, in the context of the institutionalization process that we have undergone, I do not want to bore you with statistics. We have done our bit on roads, we have done our bit on health, education, water, and all these areas. Let me not bore you with those statistics, because those are issues that we will be talking on over the next 3 days. But let me tell you that, broadly speaking, on roads, we are doing Maram roads, we've done over 900 kilometers of road. On health services, we have seen our bit, which you saw here. We found, especially our major hospital in Kisii, which was built in 1917, did not have diagnostic facilities. Those are in place. But let me mention something very important, that we have signed all the necessary documents for a cancer center in Kisii town. The loan is now available, 2 billion shillings, and the process is starting shortly. We are going to have a cancer center in Kisii. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is that we have developed a memorandum of understanding with Kisii University for them to start a medical school. We have put the prerequisite conditions in place. We are hoping that they are reorganizing themselves, because we have put a pathology lab in place so that they can start their medical school, which they didn't have, moving forward. In the area of education, we have employed very many ECD teachers, over 900. We have built over 180 nursery centers moving forward, and many other things that I don't want to bore you with today. But let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, that as a county government, we all need to be together. We all need to appreciate the fact that Kenya has been independent for 53 years. And yet there were quite a number of things that had not been done. We have been around for 3.5 years, 3 years to say. We have no excuses to make. We are trying our best. And we are saying that moving forward, we now understand what we need to do. Like that small child who was crawling and eating soil. We did our crawling, we ate our soil, but we now know what to do moving forward. And I want to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that as your county, we are putting in place the enabling environment for any investor that is going to come to Kisii. Let me not repeat the fourth amendment. And we are saying, I can give you a very simple example. For those of you who travel here in Kisii town, there is that coffee they call Omosike. It smells to high heaven. It's called Blue Mountain coffee. But when it is mixed with these other coffees, it loses its luster. And we are saying, if we are able to brand our coffee, and for those of you who will pass through the Kibanda of the Kisii County government, you will see the type of branding that we are talking about, Gusii coffee. If we are able to brand it and sell it as Gusii coffee, then it will have no competition. So we are saying, ladies and gentlemen, that let's move together. Let's look at our agricultural produce, since that's where we have competitive advantage. And let's do branding and other things. So ladies and gentlemen, let me not bore you as we are going to be talking moving forward. Allow me now to invite our chief guest to officially open this function for us. The chief guest is standing in for the CS industrialization, Honorable Adan Mohammed.
Our time to do more and even better going forward. I'd like to speak about 3 things to the delegates to this conference. First, why we should give the small businesses and entrepreneurs serious attention. 2, the government's role in supporting the attainment of business aspirations. 3, the urgent need for innovation and adoption of innovation in the SME sector. Why we should give the small businesses serious attention. One of the problems that we are dealing with as a government and as a nation is rampant unemployment. The most affected are youth, who are in their most productive and energetic age group. This has given way to an increase in other problems, including crime and drug abuse. The reality is that the government is not employing as much as it used to in the past, and neither is the private sector. But one sector that has been employing consistently is the SME sector. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the SME sector employs up to 80% of people living in Kenya. It also accounts for 92% of all new jobs that are created. From an economic standpoint, this sector contributes up to 45% of gross domestic product. This is contrasted to a 15% contribution two decades ago. These statistics point to the fact that the SME sector has stood resilient and has continued to go against the grain in registering growth in economic and human resource absorption. It is for this reason that we are all called upon as individuals and as corporates to support SMEs by working with them as they strive to play their important role in the economy. They do need advice, they do need opportunities, and they need access to finance. With these bottlenecks addressed, I am sure that we are assured of greater growth in the sector. The government recognizes the need to support small businesses, and that is why the sector is accorded a lot of prominence in the National Economic Blueprint, Vision 2030, where it is described as an engine for economic growth. But we have not stopped at that. Through my Ministry of Industrialization and Enterprise Development, we are carrying out a program known as Ease of Doing Business, in which we are taking a critical look at addressing some of the barriers to starting and doing business in Kenya. You are aware that Kenya is now the third most improved country globally on ease of doing business. The government has also been in talks with business leaders, particularly in the financial sector, with a view to addressing issues relating to access to credit for SMEs, as well as the cost of accessing loans for business. As an immediate measure, we already have a fund which offers capital to youth, women, and the underprivileged in our society, so that they can grow their businesses in tandem with their respective aspirations. A majority of these businesses, if not all, fall under the small business category. We remain open to engagements through which we can discuss other prominent issues, other pertinent issues relating to the sector, with a view to contributing towards an even more vibrant economy. I'm also pleased to note that the government is centralizing its operations for SMEs under what we call Biashara Kenya. This will see issues of access to finance, procurement, access to training activities being undertaken by this body. Innovation. As I draw to close, the need for innovation and adoption of innovation among small businesses. We all know that businesses undergo different cycles that call upon the business owners to change tact if they have to remain relevant. The survival of the businesses you represent is of significant importance, not only just to you, your employees and dependents, your customers as well. Your customers, including the government and corporate institutions, look upon to you to continue providing them with products, services, and propositions that you can offer. One of the ways to maintain that edge is by using innovative ways to continue meeting your customers' dynamic needs in line with the trends in the global sector which invariably affect us even here in Kenya. Innovation needs not to be limited to products, but should also be considered in the processes that businesses apply so that you can boost efficiency in your overall operations. My closing remarks, I would like to commend the county government of Kisii, who have taken the leadership, and would like to appeal to other regions to embrace the SME sector through direct or indirect linkages through various supply chains. In particular, I want to appeal to the commercial banks to improve access and cost of finance availed to SMEs. I would like to challenge the county government of Kisii to set aside land, possibly 100 or 200 acres, to set up an industrial park as a measure that will pool resources, that will pool investors to share their infrastructure for the benefit of your people. We pledge our support in this endeavor, having recently enacted a special economic zones law that will guide the development of economic zones and industrial parks. With these many remarks, it is now my pleasure to declare the Kisii Entrepreneurship Summit officially open. Thank you.
We are now inviting you, it's your chance to come and give us a keynote address, and they are waiting to listen to you. Thank you very much. Can you please?
Abagusi, Buyamuri. Buyamuri Naende. Thank you, Asanteni Sana. I'm very delighted to be back here at the campus, Kisii University. I'm very happy to see the students from the Kisii University. Students, communist power. Communist power. Asanteni Sana. And I'm very happy that this historic event is taking place here within the campus of Kisii University. I want to thank the governor and his government for the foresight of hosting an investment conference here. I'm happy that so many visitors have come from outside the country to attend this conference. Now, ladies and gentlemen, behind our push for devolution was the determination to enable all parts of our country to discover what they can share with Kenya, rather than wait for what Kenya can share with them. I want to go back to 1965, literally 2 years after our independence. At that time, the founding fathers of our nation were thinking about which direction the development should take. And working with some foreign advisors, they came up with a blueprint, which is called Sessional Paper number 10 of 1965. That document, in my view, was the genesis of the disparity that we have in our country today. Because if you look at that document properly, and copies are available, you see that it's talking about the government priorities. And it's saying that the government should invest more resources in high-yielding areas, what they call high-potential areas in our country. And because you'll be able to get faster returns on investments. And that the marginalized areas or low potential regions of the country will benefit from what they call the trickle-down effect. That is the basis of the session of paper number 10, 1965. The trickle-down effect. 50 years down the road, we discovered that That did not work. There was no trickle down in other areas of the country. That's why we ended up with so many countries in one. And there's some part of the country you go to, you'll find most roads are tarmacked, piped water into homes, electricity in the houses. You'll find schools and hospitals state of the art. But there's some other part of the country you go to, they'll ask you, Raila, Kenya iko namna gani? Because they don't believe that they are part of Kenya. There's no sign there that they are really part of Kenya. You go to Mandera, or Wajir, or Marsabit, and that's the picture that you see. So when we went to Bomas of Kenya, we said, no, sasa leo mjinga mpaka arevuke. Mjinga akirevuka, mrevu yuko wapi? Nasema mrevu tupeleke mashakani. Hence devolution. But we need to know that devolution had very many enemies at Bomas. We had very many enemies who did not want devolution. Those who were used to the centralized system, because they were the major beneficiaries of a centralized system of distribution of resources. So they resisted it. At Bomas, there's one late Dr. Odhiambo Mumbai who stood up and spoke so passionately about devolution that at the end of it, it was resolved by acclamation that that gentleman must be the chairman of the devolution committee. And Mbai was appointed the chairman of the devolution committee by acclamation at Bomas, okay. And he chaired that committee very ably. But the enemies of devolution spotted him. And one day, as the conference was still going on, he was attacked in his home, broad daylight, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In front of his children, he was shot and killed in cold blood. So that is what I'm just giving you that example for you to know the extent to which the revolution has been opposed. The killers of Mbai are still alive and walking, as they are known. But ladies and gentlemen, taking stock, years after we started, I think that the story is unfolding very well. Each day, our faith is being vindicated. Each day has proved that there never was a low potential part of Kenya as we were formerly told. There were only long marginalized parts of Kenya. Each time communities have looked around, they have realized they have plenty to harness and share with the rest of Kenya. Shared equally. It is possible for Kenyans to access quality healthcare at affordable costs within the regions. It is happening now and will only get better in the years ahead. A few years ago, 3 years ago, we came to bury here Mzee Nyamwea, not very far away from here. The old man had reached almost 100 years. But a number of years before he died, he was suffering from kidney problem, requiring dialysis. And there was no dialysis available here in Kisii town, in Kisii hospital. So he had to be taken to Nairobi. He spent most of those years in Nairobi there because of dialysis that he required, no facilities here. And today, as you've just seen that film there are how many beds? 10? There are now 10 since the last 3 years. This shows you that devolution is working. It's part of our vision of a life in which our people pursue their ambitions without constant reference to the big brother government in Nairobi, whose priorities are not necessarily your priorities. Kisii has prioritized agriculture and healthcare as drivers of growth. We now need to move with speed and invest in value addition. The sweet bananas and avocados of Kisii feed virtually every family in Nairobi and beyond. The soapstones of this county decorate offices and homes in distant parts of this country and beyond. Kisii must now focus squarely on exporting these as finished products. We wish to see Kisii exporting processed fruits. Kisii must now invest in processing and branding its traditional vegetables that have become popular in our towns and beyond. We want to see processed beef, fish, vegetables, and sweet potatoes clearly branded and labeled produce of Kisii. You have huge potential for dairy farming and can supply southern Nyanza with milk and related products. You must invest in this now. We need appropriate investment in factories that will convert your rich deposits of soapstone into a major source of employment and real income for the youth of this county. Ceramics or talc powder here in Kisii and not in Nairobi. The finished product must be branded and sold under the label made in Kisii. Kisii has a young, innovative, educated, and energetic, hard-working labor force. We have a large number of citizens living abroad who must tap into their skills and potentials. When I go to the US, I go to New Jersey, I go to Texas, I go to Minnesota, I get into Kisii Ndogo there. You have churches where they preach in Kisii. In those places there. I feel so much at home when I get there. Because I even eat ugali cooked the Kisii style. It is important for this county to focus on reducing poverty by increasing the quality and quantity of smallholder crops. We must focus on strengthening the maize, beans, and coffee value chains. We must enhance the support services for farmers and make them accessible and more effective. We must boost economic output by strengthening more effective movement of products and information between buyers and sellers and promoting access to markets. We must facilitate ties between traders and other private sector players. Our ultimate aim must be to increase smallholder farmers' incomes. I encourage to increase the development across the region. Integration and cooperation will give you access to new markets and make you tap better into your comparative strength. Closer ties with neighboring counties will enable Kisii benefit from niche tourism products offered by Ruma National Park, Kisumu Impala Sanctuary, and Masai Mara Game Reserve. You must tap into these shared resources to grow together. And it is not just about physical resources. As a people, we have shared values that make us share a region at a different communities as we live in complete harmony. Our diversity amid these shared values must be a source of gain. When you enter Kisumu, you come through a place called Nyamasaria. In that place, even a chief there is a Kisii. And when you enter Kisii, it's a place called Rajambili. And a big bulk of people living there are Luos. So I keep on telling people that the entrance to Kisumu, you go through the Kisii settlement. And the entrance to Kisii, you go through the Luo settlement. investors have heeded our call to see what we have to offer. You must reciprocate by removing unnecessary licensing requirements, particularly for the small and locally traders. You must make all investors, big or small, foreign or local, feel wanted and welcome. They must be allowed to compete on a level playing field under the same rules. And I'm happy the governor has pointed it out, that investors is not just somebody coming from abroad with big money to invest in factories here. The investor must be the small trader, the Juakali, the Mamamboga. That is where they start and grow up. You need to know that Mr. Toyota started as a bicycle repairer. From bicycle, he went to scooter. From scooter to motorcycle. Motorcycle to a two-cylinder engine before he ended up with the Toyota Corporation. You need to know that Mr. Hilton started as a shoe shiner. Then went and started selling mandazi. Then started with a kiosk, then a restaurant, then an hotel. He ended up with a Hilton chain of hotels. That story can be told of Mr. Rothschild and so on and so forth. So that is how they start, and then they grow and become big enterprises. We must promote the small-scale business of trading. Power. But service delivery remains your best bet. If county government deliver better and greater dividends to the people will in turn pressure the national government and demand devolution of more power and resources to the counties. In this regard, do not take the national government as your role model. Counties must never duplicate the wastage, the corruption, and lack of accountability that has long haunted the national government. CORD will not protect any county government under its leadership that tolerates theft of public resources, wastage, and exclusion. You should focus on areas in which modest investment will have positive impact on the people's lives. The pattern emerging out of the NYS scandal and the others plaguing the national government is that the Jubilee is resorting to corruption to finance campaigns and buy support as its only option of retaining power. Jubilee has broken every record with regard to corruption. It has also broken every promise to fight corruption, including an MOU signed with President Barack Obama. He must not be tempted to join this costly path to doom and failure. In the fullness of time, a court government will hold everyone to account for every penny and property stolen from the public. We will prove that it is possible to have a clean and honest government that Kenyans can have, that Kenyans have been craving for more than half a century. It is possible to stop wastage. It is possible to stop corruption in our country. It is possible to borrow and use that money which you have borrowed properly. If we had been able to invest the money he borrowed in Eurobond. The shilling would have stabilized. The interest rates would have gone down. And the counties would have benefited. We want more resources to come down to the counties, not held up there being wasted. That's why we have brought Okoa Kenya. In Okoa Kenya, we are demanding that 45% of the national revenue be brought down to the counties to be used for development. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did not come here to politic, only had facts. But I'm happy that I was invited. I thank you, and I wish the Kisii County government, led by the governor, all the best in this investment conference. Thank you very much.
Is that how we appreciate our Prime Minister? Is that how we do it? Can we do it in a nice, warm way? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, from Kisii, let us appreciate our Prime Minister, kwa shangwe na vigelegele. Prime Minister, if you allow me, I can tell you in the former way, tafadhali gedini. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just beginning. And ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister, allow me to say that it was Honorable James Ongwae who sent me to go and work in Kisii as a diaspora worker. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this program, allow us to appreciate our chief guest from Kisii to take to our chief guest. Prime Minister, tutakuita yako kidogo tu tafadhali. Thank you, sir. You can smile for the cameras and remember to say bananas. So you leave the S hanging. Say bananas. Not you, the ones who are taking pictures. Yeah, thanks. Give it, it's about 5 kgs. PS, can you carry that? Thank you very much. We can help you carry it. Thank you, PS. Honorable Cyprian Awiti, wapi present yake? Aha. Ladies and gentlemen, hiyo ni giraffe. And you know it's all about strength, honor, stability, and patience. And I want to believe that Governor Cyprian is a very strong guy and is very patient. Mpatieni makofi tafadhali. Look at the cameras. Say bananas. And now, last but not least, county. This is a symbol of a messenger, a symbol of a person who encourages others, a symbol of what we call elongated vision, a symbol of how we can stretch ourselves and reach as far as we can. That is our wish from Kisii County Prime Minister, a symbol of the giraffe for you. You can now look at the camera and smile. Makofi tafadhali. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now
President, the chief guest, Governor Brief, the chief guest, the Prime Minister, our two governors, the senators, the council members.